أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everybody to today's class. Jazakumullah for arriving on time. If I may call a student to the mic, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, could we have G1564, please?
G1564, Assalamu alaikum. G1564, Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, salam.
How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Oh, you've just made my day. I've got a wretched cold and my head was really hurting, and your lovely, lovely greeting made me really smile. Okay, sweetheart. So, we start the class with Dawood at Tasbiyah. Would you be able to recite Dawood for me?
Yes. A'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajim.
Mashallah. Very, very nice. One more time, and let me help you as well. Yeah, let me repeat it as well. A'udhu billahi
A'udhu billahi
minash shaitanir rajim.
Rajim.
Well done. What does it say underneath here, darling?
I seek refuge with Allah from
Satan.
The rejected.
Yes. We always ask Allah to help protect us from anything bad. Okay, so this is Dawood. Underneath here, there's some writing here. Would you read that for us, darling?
Yes. Why we recite Dawood before reading Quran. Reciting Quran. Allah tells us, and when thou recite Quran, seek refuge with Allah from Satan and the rejected.
Well done, beautiful. And what does it say at the end there, darling? Oops.
Chapter 60, verses 99.
Well done, yes. So this is why we always recite Dawood before we come to Quran, because Allah himself has told us that we should recite Dawood. And although we're going through Qaida, this is all part of Quran. We're leading our way to it. So that's why we do Dawood. And it's actually written in the Quran Majid itself. So if you were to look in chapter 16, verse number 99, you would see the commandment from Allah to do this. Well done. Okay, so let's move on to Tasbiyah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Well done. And the translation?
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
Well done. And what does it say down here, darling?
Reciting Bismillah before every deed invokes the blessings of Allah upon that deed. It is Sunnah.
Can't see it anymore.
We can't see it.
Oh, no. Okay. Okay,
No, you can see it now.
Okay, go for it.
It is
Sunnah
to recite it before every good deed.
Yes, well done. So
Master.
this is why we recite Tasmiyah. Okay, when we're about to do anything, if we say Bismillah beforehand, then these are lots of big words. But what this is basically saying is that if you recite Tasmiyah, Allah will give the blessing upon what you're about to do, if it's a good thing that you're about to do. Okay, so that's why we do Tasmiyah as well. We're going to do something in the name of Allah, who is gracious and who is merciful. Okay, very, very nice. So let's move on to, today is Tuesday. So it's this dua. Do you know this dua, darling?
Rabbi Zidni Ilma.
Okay, well done. Yes. So one more time, and let's do it so that everybody can hear as well. Yeah.
Rabbi Zidni Ilma.
Well done. Such a lovely voice. And the translation, darling.
Oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge.
And the reference?
Daha 115.
Well done. Such a nice way to start the class. This dua is actually in the Quran Majid. It's in a chapter known as Doha, and it's in verse number 115. And if you were to go and look at the Quran Majid, you would find this dua here. And we always are dua because it helps us. We ask Allah to help us in our learning so that we can learn to the best of our ability. Sweetheart, that was such a nice start to the class. My head was really hurting. It still is hurting, but I feel so much better now that I've heard your lovely voice. Jazakumullah. And inshallah, we'll have you to the mic again another time, okay?
Thank you. I love the Quran class.
Oh, mashallah. Jazakumullah, darling. Okay,
Jazakumullah.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, so now let's move on. I hope that everybody has come to class observing the etiquettes that we have advised you, that you have all done wuzu, you're wearing clean clothes. According to our tradition, you've got your head covered, a scarf or a dupatta for girls, nasirat, and topi or a cap for members of Atfal. Try and sit in a quiet place so that everybody can hear you when you come to the mic. We really advise parental supervision, meaning have a mum or a dad or an older brother or sister, aunt or uncle, somebody with you who can help you as you go along. And having your correct ID is really, really important because we can only call to the mic those of you who've got your correct ID. And I know some of you have emailed. Inshallah, I will be getting around to those emails this evening. Apologies for any delay. I've been a little bit unwell, but inshallah, very soon I'll respond to those that have asked for their IDs. Okay, so now let's move on to our schedule. So today we are in week 4, class number 17, and today is the 5th of October. And today we're going to do some revision of all the things that we've covered, or yes, many of the things that we've covered so far. Lessons 5 to 11, and then we will go on to practice on the lesson of Tanwin. The material that we're going to use is a PowerPoint, as well as the Talimul-Quran lesson number 11, pages 60 to 61, and we'll be practicing 11.6. And we say the material because if any of you want to buy the hardback copy of the Talimul-Quran, then you'll be able to find this lesson in there. You can also download it. And the material that we use in class is also available on the Google Drive, which is accessible to all parents. And my co-host will put the link to that Google Drive on the chat now. So if you were to go to the Google Drive, you'll be able to access all of the material that we use in class. Okay, so now we're going to have an announcement that there is a quiz that is coming up. And the quiz, when will it be? It'll be in class 20, which is on Friday, the 8th of October. So this Friday, in your breakout room day, we will have, for about 15 minutes, a quiz before you go into your breakout rooms. So it's in class 20, Friday, the 8th of October, normal time of 6 o'clock, where, just like normal, the G1 Zoom class, sign in as normal, come to class as normal. That's where we'll have our quiz. Now, you can prepare for the quiz. The questions that will be in the quiz, I will show them to you in a moment, but they're also available on the Google Drive and also available on the PDF with the questions is where you can find the answers. Now, you may think, well, why are we being told about the questions beforehand and where we can find the answers? Because we are here to learn, and G1 is all about learning in a positive, fun way. And the quiz is really designed to encourage you to go back to the book and to look up some of the words. What we don't want to do is just tease you or confuse you or catch you out in anything. We want you to learn. So that's why we give you the questions so you can learn the answers. And I won't go through all of the questions, but when you go to the Google Drive, you'll be able to see this particular document, and you'll see that all the questions are listed there. And the first question is an example: how many letters are there in the Arabic alphabet? And if you don't know, you could go to lesson number 2 in the Quran, page number 33, and you'll find the answer there. So the questions are in black, and the answers, where you can find them, are written in red. Okay. Answers can be found in the book, the Quran. And there is 13 questions altogether. Okay, so right then, having done that, that was enough of the announcements. Let's now go to our revision presentation. So let me just find, here it is. Okay. Okay, and let me just share this. Okay, so if I can just ask my co-host, my PowerPoint is now coming through?
Yes, it is.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so today's revision on short stretch, which was something that we did last week or the week before, long stretch, and then we're going to compare the differences between short stretch and long stretch, and then we're going to revise Tanwin as well. Okay, so first of all, short stretch. Fatha. If you can remember, we taught you about fatha. And fatha is a slanted stroke, and it looks like that. It sits above a letter. So you will often see it like this, sitting on top of, for example, this noon. It lasts for one count. So when you read it, na, na, one count only. Any letter that carries a fatha is known as maftu. So this noon, which is carrying a fatha, is a maftu noon. The next day, we taught you about kasra. Kasra is a slanted stroke. It looks exactly like the fatha, but it sits below a letter. So it will look like this when you see it underneath the example here of a noon. It lasts for one count. So when you read it, ni, ni, just one count only. Any letter that carries a kasra is known as maksur. So this noon carrying a kasra is a maksur noon. And then we taught you about dhamma. Dhamma is a shaped stroke, and it looks like this. It sits above a letter. So you will see it like this on this example of a noon. It sits above. It lasts for one count. So when you read it, nu, nu, just one count. Any letter that carries a dhamma is known as madhmoom. So this noon carrying a dhamma is a madhmoom noon. And those are the 3 strokes that we taught you that are known as short stretch. Sometimes you'll hear people call them short vowels. Means exactly the same thing. They are short because they last just for one count. Okay. Then we went on to teach you about long stretch. And the first stroke in this section was the vertical fatha. It's a vertical stroke. Vertical means upright, standing up, straight. It looks like this. It sits above a letter. So if you were to see it above a letter, this is how it would look. The letters underneath and the vertical fatha on top. It lasts for 2 counts. This is long stretch. So when you read this, you will say na, na, 2 counts. A letter that carries a vertical fatha is known as maftu. Okay, now if you notice, fatha has a fatha in it, and maftu also has fatha. Okay, so the clue is in the name, maftu. Okay, then we moved on to teaching about vertical kasra. It is a vertical stroke, meaning it stands up, is upright. And it looks just like the vertical fatha, except that it sits below a letter. So you will see it like this. It lasts for 2 counts. It's a long stretch, so it lasts for 2 counts. So when you see a vertical kasra, you will say ni, ni, 2 counts. A letter that carries a kasra, a vertical kasra, is known as maksur. So this is a maksur noon. Again, if you look, kasra has a kasra, and maksur also has a kasra in it. Okay, so if ever you get confused about whether something is maftu or maksur, look at the letters within the letter in the word, and that will help you. And then lastly, in the long stretch, we taught you about the inverted dhamma. And that's a shaped stroke, and it looks like this. It sits above a letter. So you will see it, for example, like this. Like all long stretch, it lasts for 2 counts. So apologies, I will have to correct that. It lasts for 2 counts. When you read this, you will need to say nu, nu, 2 counts. And a letter that carries a dhamma, an inverted dhamma, is known as mazmum. And again, if ever you get confused between maftu, maksur, and mazmum, just look at how the spellings are for the word. In mazmum, you've got dhamma written in there. Okay, so that can help you to remember how a letter can be called. Okay, so then, having taught you about short stretch and long stretch, let's just do a comparison. Fatha, a slanted stroke which sits above a letter and lasts for 1 count. Na, that would be how you read that noon. Na. Anything that carries a fatha is known as maftu. Now, let's compare it to the long stretch. Vertical fatha is a vertical stroke, so it looks slightly different to the normal fatha. It sits just like the fatha above a stroke, but it lasts for 2 counts. So when you read this, na, na, just like a simple fatha, any letter that carries a vertical fatha is known as maftu. Short and long stretch. The same sound is made, but different timing. So if I was to read to you the fatha, na, and then the vertical fatha, na, sound is exactly the same, the timing is different. A kasra is a slanted stroke, sits below a letter, lasts for 1 count. Any letter that carries a kasra is known as maksur. This noon with the kasra is read ni for 1 count. Compare it to a vertical kasra, which is a vertical stroke and it sits below a letter, lasts for 2 counts. Any letter that carries a vertical kasra is known as maksur. So this noon with a vertical fatha, a vertical kasra, is a maksur noon. Now, comparing the short and the long stretch, the same sound is made. The noon with the kasra is ni. The noon with the vertical kasra is ni. The same sound, but different timing. Lastly, let's compare the dhamma and the inverted dhamma. A dhamma is a shaped stroke, sits above a letter, lasts for 1 count. any letter that carries it is known as madhmoom. This noon with the dhamma is read as nu, nu. Comparing to the inverted dhamma, which is an inverted stroke, inverted just means it's been turned around and flipped upside down. And that's exactly what has happened to this dhamma here. It's been inverted from its normal position. It sits above a letter and it lasts for 2 counts. Any letter that carries an inverted dhamma is known as madhmoom. The difference, if you compare them between the short and the long stretch, is the same sound is made. Compare nu for a simple dhamma, nu for an inverted dhamma. The difference was in the timing. Short and long stretch make the same sounds. One is for 2 counts, another is for 1 count. That's the only difference. Okay, so let's move on to the last set of strokes that we've introduced you to, which are the Tanwin strokes. And it comes under the lesson of Nunnation. And it's called Nunnation because Tanwin means to make a nasal sound. So let's see what the light bulbs are going to tell us about Tanwin strokes. Fathatain, that was the first set of Tanwin strokes we talked to you about. This is fatha 2 times. Fathatain, fatha 2 times. Looks like this, 2 fatha. Sit above a letter. So for this bar, this is how they will sit on top. When you see Tanwin, they make a nasal sound and they last for 2 counts. So here, this bar would be read as ban, ban, a nasal sound for 2 counts. Let's compare and move on to the kasratain, which is kasra written 2 times. Looks like this. Kasratain sits below a letter. So you will see it like this. And it makes a nasal sound which lasts for 2 counts. Bin, bin. Lastly, dhammatain, which is dhamma written 2 times. And this is how you will see a dhammatain. It sits above a letter, so it will look like this. And it will make a nasal sound which lasts for 2 counts. Bun, bun. So if I repeat from the fathatain, ban, the kasratain, bin, and the dhammatain, bun, a nasal sound which lasts for 2 counts. Tanwin means to produce a nasal sound. And a letter that carries a tanwin is called munawwan. Munawwan. So this bar in the red light bulb is a munawwan bar. Why? Because it carries a tanwin stroke. The bar in the green light bulb is also munawwan because it carries a tanwin stroke. Similarly, the bar in the blue bulb is known as munawwan because it carries a tanwin stroke. Okay, so that's now the end of our presentation. So let's now go back to, okay, so where are we? Okay, let me just find the right lesson. Okay. Okay, so if you just bear with me, let me just go and open up the right lesson. So if you just bear with me for a second. Okay. Okay, so if I can just check with my co-host that the the Nunnation lesson is on screen?
Yes, it is.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so let's now do some practice on 11 point. I'll just bring it up here. We do some practice on 11.5 and then we'll move on to 11.6 because they have examples of short stretch, long stretch and Tanwin. So if I can call a student to the mic.
G1621.
Assalamu alaikum, G1621.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you, darling?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I am very well now. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, so was that revision presentation helpful, darling? Did you enjoy it? So did you watch?
1 second, please.
Okay.
Should I move to the next student?
She may just come back. Let's just give her a moment.
I'm here, thank you.
Okay, so did you find that revision presentation helpful?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Okay then, darling. So let's have a read of the words here. And if I read, and then you follow with me, okay? And everybody else at home can also read, okay? Kutubun.
Kutubun.
Well done. So there you see. Okay, let's just do it this way. Ahadun.
Ahadun.
Well done. So there you see. Naba'in.
Naba'in.
Humurun.
Humurun.
Well done. Wasatun.
Wasadun.
Very nice. Okay. And then here. Khushubun.
Khushubun.
Mashallah, really nice pronunciation. Okay, so can you read for me that whole line starting from here by yourself?
Okay. Kutubun. Ahadun. Naba'in. Humurun. Wasadun.
Okay. Wasatun.
Wasadun.
Well done.
Khushubun.
Very nice. Your pronunciation is really good and the timing was really, really nice. Jazakumullah, darling. Allah Hafiz for now. Allah Hafiz. If I can have another student to the mic, please.
Yeah, G1629.
G1629. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Very well now. Jazakumullah. Okay, sweetheart. So I will read, you follow. And we start here with the highlighted word. Everybody at home also please read that as well at home.
Okay.
Labanan.
Labanan.
Mathalin.
Masalin.
Funuzul. Fanuzulun.
Fanuzulun.
Mashallah, very nice timing. Waladan.
Waladan.
Haraman.
Haraman.
Furushin.
Furushin.
Mashallah. Okay, sweetheart, if you can read by yourself all of those highlighted words.
Okay. Labanan. Masalin. Fanuzulin. Lun. Waladan. Haraman. Furushin.
Very nice, really nice timing. Really, really nice. Jazakumullah. Allah Hafiz for now. If I can have another student to the mic, please.
G1385.
G1385. Assalamu alaikum. G1385. Assalamu alaikum.
I'll move to the next student, G1386.
G1386. Assalamu alaikum. G1386. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, let's move on. And if I can just ask everybody to please stay by your screens, because as you can see, time gets used up if we're waiting for students who are not anywhere near their screens. It may be that you're having a mic issue, but if you can try and be at your screens. Jazakumullah. Yes, if I can have another student.
G1393.
G1393, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so why?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Okay, sweetheart. So from here, where I've highlighted it, yeah? If I read, you follow, everybody at home also follow.
Okay.
Judadun, judadun,
Judadun.
labanun,
Labanin.
humuza, humuza. Okay, I'm so sorry. My head is, I've got a cold, so apologies. Humaza, humazatin.
Humazatin.
Well done. Unuqin.
Unukin.
Mashallah, lovely. Qadamun.
Kadamun.
Okay, before we move on, just one more time. Qa,
Go.
da,
Da.
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 Well done. Qadamun.
Kodamun.
Well done. Beautiful. And the reason I went over that is that you read the qaf really nicely. You rounded your mouth and you made that sound thick and heavy. But the dal that comes next to it is not thick and heavy. And so you've got to be really careful not to carry that thickness across, okay? So you did that really well. Okay. Ajalun.
Ajalun.
Mashallah, beautiful. If you can read all of those highlighted words, please, by yourself.
Judatun. Labanin. Humazatin. Unukin. Kodamun. Ajalun.
Mashallah, really nice, really nice. Good pronunciation and nice typing. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Allah Hafiz for now.
Jazakallah.
Okay then. So if I can just move on and move on to this exercise here. If I can have a student on the mic, please.
Yep. G1304.
G1304, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Okay, sweetheart. So what we'll do is we will read these words. If I read, you follow, and everybody else at home also read, please. Okay, from here. غدقاً.
غدقاً.
Well done. أجن. Oh, sorry. أخ.
أخ.
رسل.
رسل.
قطر.
قطر.
Well done. Let's move on to here. أمدا.
أمدا.
Whoops, a daisy. Do it this way. بشرر.
بشرد.
One more time, yeah? It's a ra at the end. بشرر.
بشرر.
MashaAllah, lovely. رهقا.
رهقا.
نفر.
نفر.
Well done. So sweetheart, if you could start here and read all of those words by yourself.
غلقا.
Okay, one more time. Have a look at the letter that's in the middle.
غدقا.
Well done.
أجن. رسل. قطر. أمدا. بشرد.
One more time, darling. Have a look at the end letter.
بشرد.
Well done.
رهقا. نفد.
And one more time, just take a close look at the end letter here.
Nafarun.
Well done, well done. Okay, sweetheart. So what I want you to do is always, when you practice this exercise later, take your finger and on this one here where you've got the dal, follow the meme round and notice how the meme leads into it from the bottom, okay? From the bottom it goes up, and that is a dal, okay? And when you come to this word here, okay, at the end, take your finger around the fa and move it onto the ra, okay? And notice that the ra, the letter joins into it from the top. And that way you learn how to recognize the difference between a dal and a ra. Because a dal, when it joins to a letter beforehand, always joins from the bottom, always from the bottom. You can see the example here as well. It's from the bottom. Whereas a ra, if it's joining on, it will always be from the top. And again here, from the top. So that is the way to always be able to tell the difference between a ra and a dal. Okay?
Okay.
Okay then. Really nice reading, really nice timing. And Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Allah Hafiz for now.
Allah
Allah Hafiz. If I can have Daisy, another student to the mic, please.
Yeah, J1305.
G1305, Assalamu alaikum. G1305, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, another student.
Yeah, J1308.
G1308, Assalamu alaikum. G1308, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. How are you?
Walaikum assalam.
Okay.
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, darling. Very well for having to listen to students. Always makes me feel much happier. So, sweetheart, I'm going to read and you follow. And we start here. All students at home, remember that you will learn if you keep on practicing. Don't wait until you're called to the mic during the week. Okay. So, starting from here. Zabadun.
Zabadun.
Well done. And here. Ilahin.
Ilahin.
Well done. Really nice. Okay. Now, see the la is for 2 seconds. The hin also for 2 seconds. So let's make the timing of both of those the same. Ilahin. Darling, you still there?
Ilahin.
Well done. Okay.
Yes.
Let's move. Okay. Here. Shami.
Shami.
Well done. Shamiho.
Shamiho.
Well done. Shamihodin.
Shamihodin.
Well done. Okay, next one. Ilahan.
Ilahan.
Well done. Really nice. Okay, sweetheart, can I ask you to read all of these 4 words again?
Yes. Zabadun. Ilahin. Shamikhatin. Ilahan.
Mashallah, very, very nice. Okay, let's move on to the next line. Okay, here. So, li,
Li.
solihan.
Solihan.
Well done. Okay, let me get here. Bala.
Bala.
Well done. Balahun.
Balagun.
Well done. Umamun.
Umamun.
Well done. Whoops, a daisy. Okay, here. Okay, my highlighter is very naughty. Here we go. Ajaban.
Ajaban.
Very nice. If you can read those words again for me, please.
Yes. Salihan. Balagun.
Okay, so let me ask you, what is the stroke here on top of the lam here?
A vertical flutter.
Well done, yes. And how many counts does that stroke take?
2 seconds or 2 counts.
It does. Okay, so let's have one more go at applying those rules.
Balagun.
Oh, mashallah, lovely. Okay, next one.
Umamun.
Well done.
Ajaban.
Mashallah, really, really nice. So you've done really well, and always remember to take it nice and slow. And sometimes when there's short strokes and long strokes and then being all together, sometimes you have to just take it slowly, bit by bit. Okay, so if you take it like that, eventually you'll become really fluent and be able to read quickly. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, then, darling, Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Allah Hafiz for now. If I can have another student to the mic.
G1419.
G1419. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. How are you?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, sweetheart. So let's start with this word here. Haraban.
Haraban.
Well done. Qabasin.
Qabasin.
Well done. Su.
Suhu.
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 Suhufan.
Suhufan.
Well done. Shu.
Shu.
Shura.
Shua.
Okay, so take your fingers and touch the middle of your neck, yeah, where your throat is, and try and get that ayn sound just from that. Ah. Well done, yes. Shura.
Shua.
Shurabin.
Shu'abin.
Well done. You've got the makings of getting that letter just right. Inshallah, as you hear it more and more, you'll get the right pronunciation on that. Okay. Now, so read those letters, the words in the highlights for me, please.
Haraban. Qabasin.
Okay, one more time, and try and make the qaf round your mouth and make your tongue a little bit thicker.
Qabasin.
Beautiful. That was really nice, because when you did the sin, you made sure that that was very thin and light, and that's actually quite a difficult thing to do. So that was really well done. Okay, next one, darling.
Suhufan.
Well done. Next one.
Shu'abin.
Mashallah. Very, very nice. Okay, let's move on to the next line. Okay, and let's go to, whoops, a daisy. Here. Zo.
Zo.
Well done. Take your tongue, curl it at the edges, and make it touch the inside of your teeth at the top. Zo.
Zo.
Well done. Zola.
Zola.
Well done. Latun.
Latun.
Well done. Zolalatun.
Zola. Latun.
Well done. When you get to the end of the n sound, yeah, tun, your tongue, just when you practice it, you'll know that the tip of it is touching the top of your mouth, okay? But when you come to the end of the n sound, leave it there and stop the sound. Don't flick your tongue, okay?
Right.
So it should sound tun.
Tun.
Well done. If you take your tongue off whilst you're still making the sound, then it sounds bouncy, and then that's wrong. So when you read it incorrectly, this is how it sounds. Dun. Yeah, because you take your tongue off. If you keep your tongue on the top of your mouth and stop the air, you'll find that the sound will come out just right. Dun.
Dun.
Beautiful. Perfect. Okay, then let's do it here. Bararatin.
Bararadin.
Okay, so this is a ta, okay? Din.
Din.
Okay, so again, don't make the n. Don't flick your tongue off the top of your mouth, okay? Din.
Din.
Excellent, excellent, mashallah. Bararatin.
Bararadin.
Beautiful. Hara.
Hara.
Harajun.
Harajun.
Well done. Udhunun.
Udunun.
Mashallah. And then if you could read these 4 words for me, please.
Zalalatun.
One more time, yeah? With this first letter, curl your tongue upwards and make it touch the inside of your upper teeth. Zo.
Zo.
Okay, and one more time.
Zalalatin.
Okay, so this stroke here on
Yeah.
top of the first lam, what is
Yeah.
it?
A vertical fatha.
Well done. And how many counts?
2 counts.
It is indeed. So let's apply the rule that you actually know. One more time on this.
Zalalatin.
Okay, so let me help you, yeah? Zola.
Zola.
Well done. Now you have a go by yourself.
Zalatin. Zalalatin.
Okay, so your mum is with you, I know, so she will help you, okay? So just when you practice it later, just do it slowly, okay? Zola.
Zola.
Latun.
Latun.
Zola. Latun.
Zola. Latun.
Well done. Next one.
Bararatin.
Well done. Okay, and then the next one.
Harajun.
Well done. And then the last one here.
Uzunu.
One more time, darling.
Uzunu.
Okay, so this inverted dhamma here and this dhamma here together, they are known as Tanwin, and they make a nasal sound. So when we read this, we say nun.
All right.
Okay.
Uzunun.
Udhunun.
Uzunun.
Mashallah, mashallah. Really, really nice reading. Lovely and nice and paced. Timing is really good. Just need to practice a little bit when there are short strokes and vertical strokes and then being all together. Okay, and this is the point of going through this exercise. Inshallah, with practice, you'll become more and more fluent. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Allah Hafiz, darling.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, if you can have one more student, please.
1413.
1413. Assalamu alaikum. 1413. Assalamu alaikum.
She's another. Oh, no.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, darling. How are you?
Tika.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, sweetheart. So let's move on and read this line here. Yeah. Nusukin.
Nusuju.
Nusukin.
Nusuju.
Okay,
Kin.
sweetheart. This is a kaf, and with the kasratain, it makes this sound. Kin.
Kin.
Well done. Nusukin.
Nusukin.
Well done. Bi'ahin.
Bi'ahin.
Well done. So this is a ho. Okay, so it comes right from the back of your mouth at the top of your throat. Yeah. Hin.
Hin.
Okay, so try and get your tongue, the very back of it, yeah? Try and focus on that area. Khin.
Hun.
Okay, almost there, yeah? Bi'akhin.
Bi'akhin.
Mashallah, perfect. Okay, here. Ah, bida.
Bida.
Well done. Ah, bida.
Abida.
Din.
Din.
Abida. Din.
Abida. Din.
Well done. Now this one. O.
O.
Ni.
Ni.
Onita.
Bonita.
Din.
Mm.
Onita. Din.
Bonita. Din.
Okay, so sweetheart, this is 2 counts, this one, yeah? Onita. Din.
Bonita. Din.
Well done. Now you read the 4 words here in yellow.
Nasugen. Nusugen.
Well done.
Biajin.
There is a dot. Well done. Yeah, one more time then.
Biachin.
Beautiful pronunciation. Lovely. Next one.
Abadin. Ababita.
Okay, it's okay, darling. It's okay. Let me help you, yeah? Bi.
Bi.
Dadin.
Dadin.
Now read it all together.
Abidadin.
Okay, very nice. Okay, everything was in proportion. So it's okay. Next one.
Ganidadin.
Okay, so this has got 2 dots, but it's also got this curly blobby bit here. So this is a qaf, yeah? Qaf.
O.
Well done. So have another go.
Ganidadin.
Well done. So sweetheart, your reading is very, very nice. Okay, but when you practice, make sure you pay attention to all of the long stretches, 2 counts, and all the short stretches are 1 count. Okay, and try not to get, well, whenever you see 2 dots, look underneath. Yeah, this one's got the blob and it's a qaf. This one has 2 dots, but it doesn't have the blob. It's a ta. Okay, so you just need to keep an eye out on that, and then eventually, inshallah, you will get there. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Allah Hafiz for now, darling.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, so we've come to almost the end of the class. So if I can just read the very last line for everybody so that they can practice later on, okay? Fa, fana, fanadhi, fanadhira, fanadhiratun, fanadhiratun. Hu, humu, humurun, humurun, fi, fi'atun, fi'atun. Be really careful, whoops daisy, when you read this particular word here, okay? The fi and the don't make a ya suddenly come in. It's very easy to say fiya, fiya, and you make the ya sound come in. There's a fa and a hamza. Fi'atun. Lastly, la, qo, laqo, sa, laqo, sa, mun, laqo, sa, mun. Okay, so that brings us towards the end of our class. So if I can now give everybody their homework, which is class 17, 5th of October, and the homework is on Tanwin. We practiced Tanwin exercise. Okay, exercise 9.2 on page 61. So bear with me for a second. Let me just have a look here. What have I done here? Okay, so I do apologize. I have, of course, a cold, so I've made some typos. I will fix this and then I'll post it onto the on the Google Drive. Okay, so I've written exercise 9.2. I meant to write exercise 11.6 on page 61. Okay, I want you to do the first 2 columns only. So if I show you here, okay, page 61, and if I just make it a little bit smaller, okay, then you can see a little bit clearer. Okay, it's just the first 2 columns that I want you to practice tonight. Okay, right. Okay, then. So a reminder again that there's a quiz on Friday, and it will be in your usual Zoom class on Friday. Just come to the class as normal, and you can prepare for it by looking at the questions and looking up the answers, and these will all be on the Google Drive. Now I've already posted this is on the Google Drive. I will remove it, correct the typos, and then repost it. So bear with me for about half an hour whilst I do that. Okay, so now we are going to go back to the dua, and if I can ask my co-host for a student on the mic, please.
G1 839.
G1 839, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. Okay, sweetheart, so this end dua, do you know how to read it by yourself?
Yes.
Oh, alhamdulillah. Okay then, darling, Dawood, Tasmiyah, and then this dua, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم.
MashaAllah, really, really nice voice, really nice melody. Just be careful, yeah, at the beginning. Allahumma. Okay, make sure that you join the hummar. Okay, one more time.
اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم.
Well done. And the English translation, darling.
O Allah, have mercy on me through the Quran, the Great.
Jazakumullah, darling, for a lovely, lovely way to end the class. Jazakumullah to everybody for coming to class today and gracing us with your presence. I hope and pray that we have been of benefit to you. Please continue to practice, and inshallah we will meet again. But for now, I end the class with Islamic greetings of Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.